Hey, been a while, right? Yeah, I ended up putting this video off for like 3 days just to find info, and then on the day I was gonna record it, something else came up, so I had to wait. Yikes. I suppose I'm sorry. Just a lot of issues to the past. Oh well. Here I am. Psst. Just for reference, I only plan on looking at the characters' personalities and not their backstory or other facts. It is one other rabbit hole I don't plan on descending for a long while. Or until I run out of video ideas. Whatever comes first. Eeveelution is a resident of the Eeveelution squad household. She's often described as being gentle and friendly. She has some pretty run-of-the-mill relations, but a couple stand out to me. She and Speed have a positive relationship throughout pretty much the whole series. In fact, Speed in Chapter 4 actually admits that he likes Leaf. At that, he was talking to Sylvia, but, he thought it was Leaf, which I suppose is what matters. It is implied that Speed told Leaf, but she rejected him, but as far as I'm aware, he never outright tells her. I'm unaware of if the extras are canon, but if so, then he does tell her, but, he gets rejected, obviously. Flare. Oh, Flare. Flare, as I said, in his analysis, is Leaf's love interest. Their relationship goes back to the first chapter, and we see them hanging out. And, they do many other things continuing throughout the series. Leaf never admits to liking Flare, though it is heavily implied that they both likely reciprocate that feeling. Unrelated note, this ain't really pissed me off when I first read it. I don't remember why. Nothing wrong with it. Obviously, as a Leaf enjoyer, I would have wanted more, but I don't really care. Alright, whatever. I'm getting off topic. Leaf helps Flare with locating his parent. Yes, singular. Spoiler alert, it's Mrs. Molly. Oh, who would have seen that coming? And, she seems pretty happy when he finds his mother. Out of context, this snip is horrible. You can see the bottom left page. Whatever. But, yeah. She and Luzilia are both just kind of sitting there watching this happen. And, I'd say they're pretty happy that, they found their parents. A final moment of interest that, I thought I would point out and that I thought was pretty cute, actually, was Special Chapter 10, page 59 and 69. Nice. But I really like those two pages. They're cool. They're probably on screen right now, but I'll let editing me decide if I wanted to do that, or if you will actually hear me speaking in this part. Now, I'm going to move on from Flare. In my script, he takes up, like, an entire page alone. Oh, I'm not biased. Me? What? Never. No, not at all. Leaf, for the most part, doesn't think the highest of Crystal. Crystal, a lot of the time, gets Leaf wrapped up in her hijinks and causes problems for Leaf. But it is more than likely that Leaf thinks Crystal's a bit immature, and probably is the only character Leaf isn't 100% fond of. But other than those things, their interactions are few and far between, and in average day interaction, I think it's pretty positive. Leaf and Pearl are friendly. They help each other out with the whole raising sunshine thing, and when the going gets rough, they're there for each other. Even though they don't talk a whole lot, they're good friends to one another. Lazuli is, I'm pretty sure, Leaf's twin sister. If you know that, please let me know. Yeah. We can more than likely infer that Leaf really likes her sister and thinks pretty highly of her, despite how irrational Lazuli can get. Leaf actually helps Lazuli with her anger problems and stops her from hurting Speed in Chapter 1. Their interactions are pretty frequent, and they can talk about just about anything with one another. For instance, Leaf and Lazuli talk about Lazuli's crush on Speed during the start of Chapter 3. Leaf and Sylvia have pretty much the exact same relationship as her and Crystal, the only difference being that Leaf seems to enjoy Sylvia's personality a whole lot more than crystals. Leaf and Black didn't talk all too much up until Special Chapter 10. They talk about whether Black is still angry at Speed, and Black mentions that she always sees the good in things. This leads to Leaf breaking down, because she got that from her mother, and her mother is dead. Black hugs her in an attempt to make her feel better, but before it goes any further, Black diffuses it and takes Leaf and himself back to Flare and others. Regardless of my keen interest in Leaf, I have always really liked that scene. I believe it is probably on screen as well. But other than that encounter, as I stated, they interact very little throughout the comic, but are, I think, most definitely on good terms. I think we can 100% say that. Sunshine and Leaf are a friendly bunch. They interact pretty frequently, like in Chapter 2, where she and Flare give a bow to Sunshine. Sunshine thanks her and Flare and scampers on off. Now, this isn't an interaction, but in Chapter 5, her and Flare... I apologize for mentioning Flare so much, but these two were tied at the hip, I swear. But yeah, she and Flare comment on how Sunshine hasn't looked as happy as she did when she was with Axel. From these interactions, we can 100% with certainty that Leaf really cares for Sunshine. You know what time it is? It's opinion time. Hooray! Oh my god, so cool! On my scale, I put Leaf at a solid, I think she's a 10. I think she's the first 10 out of 10 character we've had. I really like this character. She has a good mix of interactions with the other characters, and she is just genuinely a nice character. Though, one thing that I could point out is she doesn't really have a whole lot of character development because she's just a standard good guy. Given Flare is as well, but Flare had the Berserker plot to make up for it. Man, I'm fucking mentioning Flare a lot. Man, I might as well just make Flare Analysis Part 2. Whatever. Back on topic. I personally, like I said, give this character a 10 out of 10. It's been fun, and, I want you to have yourself a good day, evening, or night, wherever you may find yourself in the world. Goodbye.